It's such a delight to welcome everyone today to our Super Saturday. This is Sandi Cohen. Eddie and I have, I guess we could be called the grandparents of Xango. We've actually been in, November 4th was our 14th birthday. And I'm really not sure whether we would call it a birthday or an anniversary, but it's been an amazing journey. But you know what? The best is yet to come, because, when we got started, I know Marlene's on the phone. All we had was a 6-page fax. Now we have technology. And, it's interesting. It's probably 22 years ago that I listened to an audio cassette tape, and some of you are not old enough to know what an audio cassette tape is, but we used to put them in something called a Walkman. Anybody remember Walkman? So anyway, about 22 years ago, I heard this audio cassette tape, and it was about 30 minutes long, and what I've remembered for 22 years is that if you do not embrace technology, those who do will leave you in the dust. And that's when I made a decision to learn how to use a computer. And whether you like it or not, whether you're of my generation or not, it's scary. There's a learning curve that you have to go through. But let me tell you this. If you're serious about your business, you're going to bite the bullet and learn how to use technology. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we go through my presentation today, which is, of course, building strong through the holidays. And this is critical. So where are we today? We've got 21 days left till the end of 2016. And I don't know about you, but it seems the older I get, the faster time goes. So let me ask you this. Do you feel the same way? Do you look at your last 5 years and say, what the heck? Where is time going? But I can tell you this. If you're past 40, time goes into hyperspeed. And you may have heard me say this before, but life is very much like a roll of toilet paper. That's right, a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. Do you agree? Just type yes in the chat room if you agree. So where are we today? A new year is about to start. And hopefully a new chapter in your life will create a new beginning. The past is the past. And, there's a book by Dr. M. Scott Peck called The Road Less Traveled. And I often refer to that book because it was gifted to me probably 23 years ago. And not only in the first chapter, but the first 3 words in the book is the following. Does anybody know what those first 3 words are? Life is difficult. And once you accept the fact that challenges are going to happen, obstacles are going to happen, things are going to get in the way, just know they can all be overcome. And we must find that good feeling place and cherish the good. There's a woman that I met, and it's probably 22 years ago as well. Now that I think about it, a lot of things happened in my life back then. I met a woman by the name of Esther Hicks, and it's the teachings of Abraham, and it has nothing to do with religion. And if you go to our new website, which is free, www, and if you know, you don't need the www anymore, but I still say it for the old timers that think they do, but it's sandyanded.com, and Sandi is spelled with an I. sandyanded.com. And under the ebooks is the book called Ask and It Is Given. Make yourself a commitment to read that book in the next 21 days, just 10 pages a day. And I promise you, oh my goodness, will the things that you want start to manifest. So forget the past. In Lion King, the past is the past. We can't change the past. Cherish the good and let's move forward. And let's all really, really think about having a blessed new year in front of us with, first and foremost, optimal health, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And I don't know who was the person that said that health is wealth, but just think about, if you know anyone that has had a health crisis, oh my goodness, your whole world turns upside down. And let's have a happy holiday, regardless of what you celebrate. And do whatever we need to do in the next 21 days to make 2017 the best year ever. So how are we going to do that? I mean, if you are not where you want to be, and the truth is, no one should ever be satisfied to where they are. Do you know what the acronym CANI stands for? CANI? It stands for constant and never-ending improvement. I mean, even giants like Tony Robbins or Sir Richard Branson, people that are truly living life on their terms commit to constant and never-ending improvement. So what are you going to do during the holidays? I know everybody's busy and some people are traveling, but we have a home-based business with huge tax advantages, which means, hopefully you know Sandi, CPA, tax attorney, former trainer for the IRS. You only are required 7 hours a week, not a day, but 7 hours a week to set aside tax-free $300 to $500 every single month. But what do you need to do in order to legally have those tax benefits? And if you quit Xango, guess what? You just pay Uncle Sam more money than you really need to. So how are you going to make sure your business kicks off into high gear, not mediocrity, but high gear in 22 days? So you should be looking for 12 new friends. 12 new friends between now and the end of the year. You don't wait till January 1 to start sifting and sorting and looking for them. You start today, because your greatest success is possible right now in the next 21 days. And it happened to me last year as well. So during holidays, everybody's nuts. Everybody's crazy. People are saying, oh, I don't have time. I'm too busy. And guess what? You need to decide, are you part of the 3 to 5% that are extraordinarily successful in the world, or are you part of the 90% who struggle? It's a choice. It's a decision. And people that are the minority, the 80-20 rule, the minority have made decisions that they're going to end this year strong. They're going to sacrifice. They're going to do things that only successful people do, because it's easy not to do things, but it's really, really hard to do things even when you don't feel like doing them. So are you going to be a 10%er? Are you going to not only plan, but do the action steps that it takes? Push yourself to end this year strong. And 14 years ago, when we started Xango, I don't even think the word social media existed. I don't think Facebook or LinkedIn existed. Webinars, sure as heck, didn't exist. So if you are involved in your business today and not using technology, shame on you. In fact, I was just saying to Eddie last night, I can't believe that I'm having every single day a minimum of 15 to 20 conversations with people all over the world. Now, when you're doing social media, texting is talking, okay? But I've been practicing to do it well. And out of those 10 to 12 people I chat with every day, I am having, without exception, at least, I'm worn out, 3 direct conversations a day on the phone or on Skype. And there's a skill to that. And I'm going to give you my little secret, okay? And this happens pretty quickly, so I hope you have a pen and paper. So as I'm chatting with someone, and I use Facebook primarily because I love the way you can track all the instant messages. And there's so much in social media today. You can't learn it all. You've got to master one really, really well. That's my opinion, until you move on to something else. But as I'm chatting back and forth with someone, here's what I say. I say, I said, since I type with 4 fingers and 2 need spell check, would it be okay if we had a direct conversation? Give me a couple options that work for you. I'm on Pacific time zone. So think about that. The words, would it be okay? And if you've done our group training in our mastermind group, you know that phrase should be used a gazillion times a day. Would it be okay? Nobody says no. Everybody says yes. And then you decide whether it's going to be by phone or by Skype, or even I'm learning Zoom. So social media gives you the ability to reach out to people that you would never have the ability to even find out who they are or where they are, let alone what country they're in. So is your antenna and radar on? Because if it's not on all the time, you are not going to hit your goals. You're going to miss the mark. So make a decision, because it's really about a decision. And if you are not where you had hoped you would be by the end of this year, you have to say to yourself, why not? What happened? What did I not do that I know I needed to do? So you got to implement those income-producing activities. So here's some of the things that I use, and I can only share with you what I do. Unlike other people that, I was on the phone with somebody yesterday who, I couldn't believe it. I met her at an event. She just spent 2 days ago $30,000. Did you hear me? $30,000 to be trained by a coach. It just blew me away. And I think about that, all of the training that your upline partners do for free. And I'm starting to think, you know what? Maybe we should be charging. And then maybe you will take our training more seriously, and you'll have more people on these calls. But anyway, here's some of the things that I do and say. And it's always about asking a question. And trust me, I've learned after, I think March will be 4 years on social media. Never ask 2 questions. I never saw anything like it. People will only answer one of the 2. So, especially this time of year, anything special happening over the holiday? What's your favorite holiday memory? I'd love to chat with you after the first of the year. Could you use really something to change? because that's what people this time of the year are looking for. They're looking and reflecting back, saying, oh my goodness, this is time to change. And what are they expecting to happen? You talk to them about their kids. If you're out running, out shopping and whatever, and there's a family or a parent with children, compliment the kids. It's a way to start a conversation. Ask them about their holiday plans. The malls are crowded, although a lot of people do shopping online, and of course people in Xango don't have to go to the mall. You can stay in your pajamas and shop in your Xango back office if you're smart. If you're chatting with people, talk about the high cost of products today. And you can ask people, what are you thinking of gifting? If you're out and about, and you can do this deliberately armed with your little bag of goodies with samples, in toy stores, in bookstores, you can strike up a conversation, especially in the bookstores, because we all know the phrase, readers are leaders. And I can tell you something that I used to do. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have to go back and do it again. I've created this really beautiful postcard, double-sided, with photographs of before and after pictures of the 2-Minute Miracle before and after usage. And I used to go in the bookstore when, in a corner and the personal growth and personal development department, or in the beauty department, I would stick the postcards in the books. But you got to be careful not to get caught. And you have to make sure when you stick in the postcard that it doesn't stick out like a bookmarker. And let me tell you, what are the odds, even if you did 50 postcards, cost you nothing except, a few pennies for the postcard, to get potential leads. So just don't get caught. That's all I have to say. So if you're out and about and someone is waiting on you and they're smiling and they have a great personality, you could say something like this: oh my gosh, how do you deal with being in this retail zoo? And always compliment them if they have an amazing personality. And you could sincerely say, do the hours and the crowds get to you sometimes? And then you never, ever, ever shop without your tools with you. And you could say, you've got such a great personality. I'm looking for someone like you that I could potentially partner with. Would it be okay? Remember that phrase? Would it be okay to give you my card with my personal contact information and exchange your contact information? You never, ever, ever, ever give your business card without getting theirs in return. Otherwise, you might as well take your business card and throw it in the trash can. You could also say something like, do you think you would want better than this? And if so, would you be open to chatting sometime about the possibility of getting you out of here so you never have to do this again? But with sincerity, with inflection in your voice. Now, first quarter of next year is when your business should explode. But it's not going to happen unless you do what needs to be done right now with these next 21 days. So everybody makes New Year's resolutions, but the percentage of people that actually meet those resolutions are probably less than 5%. So what are your New Year's resolutions? And start taking action today. And what is one of the most common resolutions? More money. Another, less stress. Another, more time freedom. I mean, how many young moms would love to be a stay-at-home mom and not put their babies into daycare and miss their first words, their first steps, just being crazy trying to juggle everything that they need to do? What about, like, I met a woman at a breakfast meeting the other day who's got an aging parent now living at home with her. I mean, talk about stress. I mean, I did it for 5 years with my mom being diapered, tube fed, suctioned on oxygen. So, I mean, how do you have freedom knowing that you might not be able to put an aging parent into a quality facility of your choice, if that is your choice? So if you work hard between now and New Year's, that means what is your commitment to the number of people you are going to have a conversation with every single day? That means 7 days a week. And now's the perfect time because of all the holiday parties, and you're going to be around more people, and it's a great time to network at these parties. And don't attack them. Don't vomit on people. And if you're in an event, you could say, I've just started a new project. I've just started a new project. It doesn't matter if you've been in Xango for 14 years. That's what I'm telling people. I am starting a new project. I am going to come out of at the end of this year, the beginning of next year, with at least 4 or 5 new partners. And would you be open? The word is open. Never, ever, ever, ever use the word interested. Would you be open to exploring change for 2017 in the areas of both health and finances? And then if they said, well, what it's about, was it about? Say, you know what? Now is not the time to talk about it. Let me call you. Would it be okay if I texted you, not called or email, texted you tomorrow so we could set up a time that we could chat directly? Would that be okay? And then you could say something, you know what? I think I've got some cards left in my bag. Hold on one second. Let me see. Or in my wallet. Never give the impression that you're ready to pounce. It's like you're not even prepared to have a business card because you had given out so many. So make it like, let me see if I have a card left. And if you get to the situation where, and every conversation is different, but if you're gifting some of our single facial treatments, remember, not the word sample, because psychologically people think sample is free. And I don't know about you, but I pay for my 2-minute miracle single facial sachets. I don't get them for free. And I want people to know that. So make sure that you do everything you need to do with commitments. And I said, well, if I gift you a couple complimentary facials, which is just like going to a salon for $80 or $100, it comes with some requirements. May I explain what those requirements are? And they all go, sure. Okay. First is that you have to watch a couple 3-minute videos demonstrating the product before you use it. And let me know that you watched the video. Is that fair? Great. The second requirement is that you have to text me what impressed you the most after you used the 2-minute miracle. Is that fair? And most people say yes. But without those commitments, I am not gifting anyone complimentary facials. It's your business. You can do whatever you want. But you've got to make a decision to have the best month this month. Don't let the holidays distract you, because if you have a bad month this month, then guess what's going to happen in January? You are not going to have a strong month. So, there's a difference between people that are successful and people that are not. The only difference is successful people do things the people who aren't successful don't do. I mean, that's it. When you're in conversations, hold back. Don't vomit all over them how excited you are about the 2-minute miracle, or about Xango juice, or about Elavive, or about any of our other incredible products. As I'm sitting here sipping on what I call my cocktail. Does anybody know what my cocktail is that I'm now doing twice a day? Anybody know what that is? It's my Xalo Pro. So it's my Ignite, Limitless, and Reload. And the truth is, my brain doesn't turn on as it should without this cocktail. So if people want to be at their best for memory, for recall, for energy, just feeling great. What I love about my cocktail, and I mix all three at once, that most people can notice something in 5-7 minutes. And it's not for the gym rats. It's for anybody that just wants to be the best that they can be, whether they're a soccer mom, whether they're a school teacher. It doesn't matter. Even those of us who just need to be sharp while we work at home. And the most important thing when you're having conversations with people is identify their pain. Have them talk about what it is that gives them pain. Is it the fact that they so badly need or want more income? Are they going through a divorce? Are they moms who are so stressed because they're juggling 12 things at once? Is it something like we went through at the age of 52? We were $450,000 in debt with no way out. And if you don't know our story, we have a new website, and it's free. Sandi, with an I, sandyanded.com. Check it out. And now would be a great time for you to rewire your brain. And if you go to that section on the website, you will get an email every morning. And most of it is from Jim Rohn, because how many days does it take to change a habit? Does anybody know how many days it takes to change a habit? Only 21 days. I mean, think about that. Between now and the end of the year, your brain can be rewired. So go to sandyanded.com, click on the Rewire Your Brain series, and take advantage of that, and take about 5 minutes every day, whether you're in the car, whether you're at the gym, no matter, before you go to bed at night, which would be the best time to rewire your brain, obviously. Take advantage of that. And when you're interacting with people, it's not about convincing them to buy something, because you have to ask the right questions before you even know they have a need for what you have. And that's a whole nother training in itself. And if you've worked with us with the mastermind group, you've gone through all of that. So are you forward focused? Eddie calls this the F word. And when he first said that at a meeting years ago, he was in front of the room and he said something like, I'm going to talk to you about the F word. And I cringed. I had no idea what was going to come out of his mouth. And sure enough, he was talking about focus. There is nothing more important than focus. Are you really going to be fired up between now and the end of this year? because you need to reflect. Where are you? And describe in just one or two words where you are today, compared, obviously, to where you want to be this time next year. And ink it. Thinking it isn't enough. It's amazing when you journal. If you don't journal, my high recommendation would be go to Target or Walmart and get a little book and every day journal. And in that journal, every morning, it takes like 2 minutes of something of gratitude, just something of gratitude that you ink it, you write it down, and what you want to accomplish that day. And the truth is, very often, what I write on Monday is the same thing that I write on Tuesday, is the same thing that I write on Thursday, because it really doesn't change. But there's something about the universe. And in that book we talked about, Ask and It Is Given by Esther Hicks on sandyanded.com, that's where I learned that. And magical things manifest when you write it down. And typing it in the computer doesn't work. There's something about the energy of putting a pen to paper. I mean, most people are so accustomed to their computers and Word documents and pages. It doesn't work if you do it that way. You must ink it, put pen to paper. Okay. And we need to leverage technology. I mean, think about it. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook Live that I'm going to learn how to do, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube videos are the biggest thing for exposure. And for we girls, I know, the hair, the makeup, stop being so critical. Sometimes the stupidest videos get the most reaction. And, ask people, are they really, really happy where they are? Are they where they thought they would be at this time of year? And if they say, not really, you have to ask, so what is your plan? What is your plan for change? And those are the words I use all the time. Are you open to exploring possibilities? I don't say, do you keep your income options open? I mean, that is such an old cliche. And it took me a long time to stop saying that. Now, if it works for you, great, keep doing it. But instead, I say, are you open to exploring possibilities? Would you be open to exploring a new business project if you had no risk and if you are coachable and to be mentored by millionaires with proven systems already in place? And if you treat it like a business, your success could be guaranteed. Most people will say, I'm open to a conversation. So I also wanted to share with you, because I haven't done trade shows. We were trying to remember the last trade show I did, which was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Long time. And I decided with the 2-minute miracle that I was going to start doing trade shows. So it means I had to create everything brand new. And if you ask Mrs. Google, she's my best friend at google.com, ask Mrs. Google for events, trade shows in your backyard. You don't have to get on an airplane. And just remember this, image is everything. So I designed these 2 different banners because from my experience in doing trade shows for about 19, 20 years, think about it. When you are at a trade show or a fair and you're walking down the aisle, you're looking right, you're looking left. What catches your eye? What catches your attention? And I don't mean to insult anyone. I'm just telling you what has worked for me. And in the beginning, I used to use those vinyl banners with grommets that never hung correctly, that looked like, oh my God, they just look terrible. These are retractable banners, like a window shade, that are so professional, 3 feet wide, 6 feet tall. So imagine walking down an aisle of a trade show and you see these images. And it's amazing how many men we've had come to the booth. And we have these available. People are starting to ask me, I want to do a craft fair, a holiday bazaar, church events. I mean, the list goes on and on, even a home party. These are only $179 per banner plus the shipping. So if you decide you'd like one, delivery is probably only about 3 or 4 days. But I never suggest waiting until the last minute. So I wanted to share with you some of the events and what it looks like. And here are the packages I put together. And like, I went to a breakfast meeting. What day was that? Thursday morning. I mean, crazy, 6:45 in the morning. I mean, I couldn't believe I had to get up at 5 a.m. because it was an hour away. But so worth it because I met some amazing professionals. And so when I put together the individual facial sachets or facial treatments, never call them a sample, I use and I'm going to use my pointer here to show you. This is the card from Xango, which is a trifold business card, and then I put a label on the back. Here is the, I guess they call it a sample card, and you need to decide whether you're going to put in here 1, 2, or even 3 individual treatments. So when I'm meeting people face to face, I'm giving them actually 3 facial treatments. At the trade shows we've been doing, I put in 3 facial treatments because what if they didn't do it right the first time? So people are going to say, oh, darn, I'm not sure I did it right. So my opinion is at least 2. In the trade shows, I've done 3 individual facial treatments plus one of the collagen, because what you look like on the outside is directly determined by what's going on the inside. And you'll see in our trade show booth, I always have a bottle of Xango juice because that is really huge anti-inflammatory. And then I put my business card and everything in a pretty organza bag. And I got these from Amazon, and they were really inexpensive. But you have to get the 6x9. I kept buying organza bags, wrong sizes, until I finally figured out the size. And I liked the white because it looks gorgeous and you can see through it. And these bags are all through Amazon. So that I charge, by the way. So for the 3 facial treatments and 1 collagen, I charge $10. I'm not giving it away at a trade show, because at a trade show, a craft fair, people are walking around with bags. What do you got for free? What do you got for samples? And I say, well, basically nothing, but I have a $20 value for only $10. Would it be okay? Remember, would it be okay? Let me give you a demonstration on your hand how incredible this product works. In fact, I had one lady call at the beginning of last week. She said to me, I picked up your postcard. I was standing in line so long to wait for a demonstration. My feet hurt and my husband wanted to leave, so I'm calling you. Isn't that funny? Because it was only 2 people in the booth. What I've learned, you have to have at least 3 bodies in the booth handling the crowd. Now, here is what I do for the 2-Minute Miracle jar. I put in the Aries card, again, that I got through Aries. I do not put a single treatment sachet in here because they're buying a jar. Now, these spatulas I purchased from Amazon, really inexpensive. This particular insert I got from Xango. It's on a tablet, and it was very inexpensive. I think there were 100 of these for maybe $15. And it talked about the collagen, and it talked about the renewal concentrate, which obviously I think should be a part of anyone's routine. I included 3 of the collagen individual uses. And this I was selling at the show, okay? And I was mentioning that this was actually $65 value for only $55. For only, that's the way you say it, $55. Because if you're buying the gels correctly, I mean, you're getting them at a serious discount when you buy 20 jars at a time. And guess what? I'm giving all the people that I needed to shop for the holiday. What are they all getting, men and women included? Yes, they're getting a 2-Minute Miracle jar with 3 collagen. Everybody's getting that. So for stocking stuffers, oh my goodness, this is perfect. And now your Christmas shopping is done. I mean, you could always include a bottle of Xango juice, which would really, really mean that they're very, very special. And when you give these as Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, stocking stuffers, whatever, you get paid because you can put it under a customer and get 15% back. Now, tell me that's not a great idea. So now I wanted to show you what our booth looked like. And I'm going to change it a little bit for the next time. But this was a very, very small room and a little frustrating, but we dealt with it. And the table behind us was so close that we really could not put the banners on the floor. And they gave us an 8-foot table, which was great. So what we did was we put the banners on top of the table instead of on the floor. And I wanted you to notice something. Notice the aprons, okay, monogrammed with the 2-Minute Miracle, with great pockets that we were able to keep pen and paper and business cards in. And this was not my idea. Again, I did what a good friend of mine used to call R&D, rob and duplicate. Janelle Crane and Anna Kaleka had this idea, and I just robbed and duplicated their idea. And the aprons are from Bed Bath & Beyond. And I got a local embroidery guy who did an amazing job and really, really fast for me. So those are some of the additional props. Notice here, bottle of Xango juice. And so many people came by and said, oh, my God, I know Xango juice. Is this the company? I didn't know they came out with a skincare line. And, of course, also had the Instant Eye Gel, the collagen, and the Renewal Concentrate all on display. Now, notice here, rubber gloves. And why do I have them here? Do you have any idea why? Because on one of Shelley McGuire's training, she said the importance of exfoliation is like having a rubber glove on your skin and you're applying topical products on top of the glove. So as I was doing the hand demonstration, on one hand, I had a latex rubber glove, and I used it as a visual. And then, of course, the basket was for everybody who was filling out the fabulous questionnaire that we had on clipboards. So it captured everybody's information that we needed for follow-up. But notice even my drawing sign in the right color. So where did I get that fabulous image? Where do you think I got it? This is Google. That just, what you need to do, get a little creative. And if you notice all of this pink stuff, it's pink roses, pink petals, and little pink rose buds, also from Amazon. So and of course I had flowers at home that I was able to bring, these beautiful frosted glass blocks. I can't remember whether Ed got them at Home Depot or Lowe's, but they were very inexpensive. And the truth is, I bought them probably 15 years ago. So the point I'm trying to make is that once you buy all this stuff, you've got it forever. And you could use it at your home parties if you're doing wine, cheese, and shine. Of course, the 8.5 by 11 foam core little, I call them small posters from Kinko's. They'll do all that artwork for you. You don't even have to go to the store. You email them the images, they get them ready, and then you go pick them up. Just amazing what you can do with technology. So this is just another shot of that table. So remember, image is everything. Now, in closing, it's really important that everyone knows that Xango has started the 12 days of giving. And I really believe that Xango's enormous success was due to the fact from day one, before they sold a bottle of juice, because if you remember 14 years ago, for 5 years, all we had was the juice. But from day one, they made a commitment of giving 7% of net profits, that means from their bank account, to charity. And we started the Meal Pack program. And the Meal Pack program, I can't remember when they actually started that, but just imagine every 6 seconds a child somewhere in the world dies from starvation, and we make a difference. And we want to end this year, 2016, with 7 million meals. Not only is it a tax deduction, but it's a commissionable product. So if you do not have the quick application, you do have the Xango customer service number, 877-GO-XANGO, or just email me, Sandi@sandycohen.com, and I'll get you this form. But think about it. Think about giving just even 7 meals to a child for $22.50. That's 75 cents a day. And of course, we give 40 meals every single month since the program started. And maybe that's why we've had abundance. Maybe that's why we were given prosperity, because we also believe in contribution. And contribution should be a part of who you are. And the best part is not only are you saving a child from starvation, you earn commissions on it. Put it under a customer. Help with your qualification while you're helping a child. So can I get a commitment from everyone that you're going to do a contribution this month for either 7 meals for $22.50, 20 meals for $60, or 40 meals for $120? Will everyone say, yes, I will contribute? And watch what happens. When you contribute, abundance starts coming back to you. And you really should consider at least putting 7 meals on your automatic delivery program every single month, so your continued contribution and abundance flows to you. Is that agreed? Okay. So what is life about? They say it's from B to D, from birth to death. You know, the video, The Dash, if you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. But what is between birth and death? It's C. And we all know life is about choices. And you can choose to succeed, or you can choose failure. Which do you choose? And there is no such thing as try. Oh, I'll try. And I'll try to do my 3 to 5 contacts a day. There is no try. You either do it or you don't do it. So don't tell me you're going to try. Will you make a commitment starting today, or if you're in Korea, which is tomorrow, starting today, that you will do a minimum of 3 to 5 new conversations a day? And a lot of people that I'm talking to say, Sandy, I'm very open to what you have to offer. And I say, then if timing is not right today, would it be okay, again, would it be okay to set up a scheduled call for the first week in January? Can we get that on our calendar? And I promise I'll set my alarm so I don't miss our call. And if for some reason I've got a conflict, I promise to give you at least 2 hours notice. Will you do the same? So what does that do? That eliminates the people who don't show up. Correct? Okay. So, as I said, we've made a decision. We've made a big decision for success. We've also made a decision that we're going to help at least 4 or 5 people also achieve success. It's a choice. It's a decision. And I really believe this because if you want success as badly as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. So I think we have one more training on working through the holiday next month. So be sure to register for that. And I see some things in the chat room. So let me first stop the recording, wish everyone, every one of you and your family and your extended family the blessings of optimal wellness, joy, prosperity, and abundance for the coming year. We love you all. And watch for some exciting announcements forthcoming, especially with the upcoming VISTA events. And make sure you've got early registration for the Xango International Convention next year. We love you all.